and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Okay, this is a goofy story, kind of going back to consumer advocacy, which is one of my things. But all right, so the FTC recently has required a company called the Bountiful Company, which is owned by Nestle, one of the world's major corporations, to pay a $600,000 fine to the FTC for basically colluding with Amazon, although Amazon didn't get in trouble here, to jack up the ratings for some of its products. So this is a major Nature's Bounty is a major supplement company. If
Mm-hmm.
you've been in any drugstore in the country or a lot of supermarkets as well, and you go and you want to look at the supplement aisle, Nature's Bounty is right there. It's ubiquitous.
Wow.
And apparently that wasn't good enough for them. The fact that they're owned by Nestle, Nestle's their parent company, is not good enough. They decided to jam up the Amazon rating system
Well,
and
what I also want to
consolidate a
add,
bunch of, yeah.
what I also want to add is remember Nestle, the same corporation said that water isn't a human right.
You know, this is, yeah. So this is what's going on. So I bring this up with what they're doing, and they have a loophole with Amazon where they're allowed to essentially consolidate different products on a page, and basically that allows them to eliminate their low ratings on certain products. And look, if you're a person who is going to make a purchase, a lot of people do rely on ratings when making decisions. The problem is that we know that at least at Amazon and probably many other companies, the whole rating systems have been gamed by the corporations themselves. And it makes it harder for a person to select a decent product.
Yeah.
But hey, the sales happen.
Well, hey, it's all about profits. It's all about the money. It's all about the dollars. We keep telling you folks, these major corporations, if they could find a way to screw you, they're going to do it. So, as always, please read the labels, know your rights as a consumer, keep your head on a swivel because in America, it's expensive to be poor. Know your rights as a worker.
Yeah, know your rights as a worker and as a consumer. And unfortunately, don't bother following Amazon reviews. I've been reporting on how these reviews can be messed with for years now. It's been going on for a while, and it's just getting worse. And the fact that you have this enormous brand with enormous distribution that's owned by a multinational conglomerate like Nestle, and they're pulling this crap. This is
Yeah.
where we are.
Be careful, folks. Just be
I don't,
careful. And
I
remember,
just
anything with Nestle, remember what one
Mhm.
of their CEOs once said, water's not a human right. They want to take all the water, folks. And soon we'll be entering into the also fantastic water wars. If you thought the oil wars were something, wait till you get a load of the water wars.
Yeah, I mean, people can walk or ride a bicycle, but getting around without your water, not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Yep. And just remember, folks, we as people, we need to always make sure that we take care of each other and make sure that our resources aren't taken away by these sociopaths who want to screw us over. So please, everyone, keep your head on a swivel.
So the speaking of Amazon, the National Labor Relations Board has found that Amazon illegally fired a worker for a role in trying to unionize an Amazon warehouse. And this is actually pretty critical. I mean, the Amazon is saying that this person slapped somebody and was disparaging. However, the National Labor Relations Board is saying, this was retaliation for speaking about worker mistreatment. So, at least in this particular case, the National Labor Relations Board can file some complaints against the company. We'll see if anything happens, and I'm not holding my breath. Amazon has basically flouted labor laws. They have flouted, what I would consider to be standard precautions in the case of weather emergencies. They've allowed, workers to die
Hmm.
rather than evacuate them properly. They have done so many horrific things. I'm glad the National Labor Relations Board is doing is stepping up here, but is anything going to happen?
Well, the answer is no. It's not going to happen.
Okay, thanks.
Let me explain. All right, and perhaps maybe I'm being too cynical. Maybe I'm being too angry. Maybe I'm a little hangry too. I don't know. So look, Amazon, illegally firing a worker for his role in trying to campaign to unionize in a New York Amazon warehouse, right? Obviously, as the article
Mhm.
states, was doing what he felt is correct for his fellow workers. Now, obviously, I'm going to side with Roger Meadows on this one. Where look, we got to do worker co-ops. All right,
Yeah.
have again businesses owned by the workers. Now, look, we all know that unfortunately in this country it's still an uphill fight. Amazon doing this to a worker shows you that it doesn't really care about what's happening with the Amazon labor union.
Hmm.
They will do everything they can to bully and intimidate anyone that works for a corporation. Remember, at the height of the pandemic, Amazon was having its workers not only do COVID medical tests and screening, which many of them are not qualified to do. No disrespect to anyone there, but none of them are medical professionals, nurses, doctors, etc., etc., etc. But also numerous workers were being exposed to COVID, dying from COVID, and exposing their friends, family, and loved ones and fellow coworkers to COVID. Amazon is a corporation that has its workers work, as Laney pointed out earlier, in dangerous weather events such as tornadoes, hurricanes, thunderstorms, etc. We covered a story a year ago where in our home state of Illinois, 6 Amazon workers, unfortunately, and it could have been avoided. It really, really could have been avoided. Died due to a tornado hitting that wellness center. The Amazon, well, basically call it what it was. It was a big storeroom, and 6 of them lost their lives. And the thing is, there was ample opportunity for them to leave because a tornado was heading their way. But what did Amazon do? What did the management do? Kept the workers there because they had to work, 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 work. Look, look, I get this is me not being against work. I work hard for the studio. I work hard for Hard Lens Media and all of our other projects here that we have to do. Daniel and I, we work on a lot of stuff to make sure that things remain functioning. All right. And we also work to make sure that that all of your voices are heard, that we hear you, and we understand, like, hey, here's what's happening in this part of neck of the country or somewhere else. But the thing is, this whole idea of working and working and working and working, it's these corporations are abusing Americans who have been worked to death. It's not that people are lazy, they're just burnt out. And these corporations will sacrifice us on the altar of endless work for little profit, and we're just supposed to just sit there and die. You have Americans working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. It's this ridiculous puritanical logic. I blame the Puritans. I blame the Puritans.
Well, what I will also point out, one of the things that Amazon did is it required their employees to not have their cell phones on them. Now, I understand that as a general principle, you don't want people being distracted, but they knew that there was a bad weather coming. And the one thing that the phones do is they notify people of bad weather coming because that's what the phones have been programmed to do. They have the emergency alert system that is tied in with the phones. And the Amazon facilities, as far as we can tell, did not have weather radios, did not have, which is a really simple, straightforward, and easy fix. It was not taking responsibility for notifying the workers, and the workers weren't allowed to have their phones on them. So they were completely vulnerable to management. And you have management who's terrified of losing their jobs if they don't meet certain numbers. And in the end, what was sacrificed were human people, were human beings.
Yeah, unfortunately, human beings sacrificed on the altar of, well, I guess of Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Look, folks, things aren't going to get better. We're not, hoping that these politicians are going to come in here and help us out. When you have people like AOC saying, for example, what other countries should be doing in regards towards, I don't know, LGBTQ rights. Like, for example, I think recently AOC said that Japan has to do more for LGBTQ rights. Look, AOC, look, there's problems all across the world. There's a lot of problems. There's no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect country. But the thing is, what I want to say to all of our politicians who are so concerned about everywhere else in the world, why not stop for a second, take 3 steps back, look inwards in this country, and realize that the system is falling apart. The people are starving. The people are overworked. The people are being screwed over. I don't know. Politicians, a controversial statement, but why not do your jobs?
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, they are doing their jobs, Lainey. It is to work for the corporations and also do insider trading. Isn't it great? They get to work in a system that's completely rigged for them, and they get to live a very lavish lifestyle. They live a lavish lifestyle that, they all get to enjoy, and they all get to profit off of, and they all get to basically watch us suffer because, yeah, these politicians, like I said before, they don't like us.
No.
They don't think about us, and they don't respect us. And corporations like Amazon get to do whatever they want. And if you're not upset about it, you should be.
Yeah.
And I want to play this one video here real quick. It's you might recognize these 2 people. They're part of Hard Lens Media. Huge shout out to them. A lavish lifestyle. Since you're in DC, you've covered those horrific people, and I'm even hesitant to call our politicians people. What kind of lifestyle do they live?
Before, when I lived just a few blocks from the Capitol, I lived in a building where 50 congressmen and senators lived, including AOC, Ayanna Presley. These folks get picked up in these Escalades that take them to and from wherever the hell they need to go on our dime. I will never forget when I was walking Buddy and I see Ayanna Presley get out of this Escalade, and I see an entourage of 2, and one was the help taking out her designer dresses and putting them on a rack, and her going, "You can just bring them up. You can just bring them up later. I need to go." If the people could see this, and mind you, she's a progressive. She's all about the working poor and all this crap. When I've literally seen her treat the working poor like complete crap.
They're enjoying a lot. Yeah, so that's the truth. And these politicians work for corporations like Amazon. Even your favorite progressive lawmaker, they're not saints, folks. Not saints.